What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the ScoutIQ new user Q&A. My name is Matthew Osborn, and Caleb and myself run ScoutIQ, and we put on this webinar each week to try and help you guys get a better start to ScoutIQ, answer any questions you guys might have, and just help you be more successful, not only using the app, but selling on Amazon and all of the above. So some of you guys have already started putting in your info in the comments. If you haven't yet, let me know your name, where you're from, and then how long you've been selling on Amazon. We can kind of cater the content today based on who's joining us live. And I'll be happy to be on here as long as you guys want me to, as long as you guys have questions. If you guys have questions right off the bat, feel free to throw those in the comments as well. Looks like we've got Alex on here from Iowa, has been selling on Amazon since 2014. Welcome. What were you using before ScoutIQ, Alex? Or have you been using ScoutIQ for a little while now? Curious on that, or if it's been books, or if you started out doing something else. We've got Brandy on here, and it looks like there's about 8 others of you hiding there. So please put your name in the comments, stuff like that, and we can get started in just a moment. I'll give a couple more minutes for people to jump on here. Brandy's from Alabama, selling books since August. I had a question. My vibration feature hasn't worked in a few days and I can't figure out why. It is turned on in my settings. I've not heard of that before, and I've not heard anyone else mention that the past few days. It sounds like it's probably a phone setting over a ScoutIQ thing. Let me test it out on my phone real fast. I'll see if I'm having any issues with that. But I think if it's been going on for a few days, I probably would have heard about it if someone else had that issue. But let me test it out real fast. Yeah, so I'll answer questions from you guys, and I do have a few things that are normal questions new users have, or things new users haven't found out yet. So I'll go over those in just a second as well. I'm curious about this. I'm going to test out this vibration thing real fast. No, it appears to be working on my phone, so it sounds like it's probably a phone setting. I'm not sure what would cause that exactly. But maybe take a look at your phone settings and see if it's something there. Brandy Davis, New Jersey, 3 months. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Let me show you guys a cool new feature that was just added to ScoutIQ this past week. So if you guys are somewhere in your trial period, this was added after you guys probably started your trial. Let me pull up the screen here and show you. It was a cool integration we made with a company called Sell Back Your Book. And I'll explain to you guys what that is and why you'll want to know about it. So if you look on the screen right here, you'll see the ScoutIQ Scout screen you're probably used to seeing. If you've watched the webinars we've done in the past few days, you probably already know about this. But if you're newer than that and you haven't seen those yet, I want to show this to you. So if you go into settings in your phone, scroll all the way down in settings in ScoutIQ, scroll all the way down to the bottom of settings, click the little checkbox or little slider to turn on the wholesale option, the sell back your book option. Go back to your Scout screen and scan something. And what you're gonna see is a little box, like this green box down in the middle of the Scout screen that did not used to be there. So what this green box is an integration we did with a company called Sell Back Your Book. This is a book buyback company. And what they do is they have a huge list of books they're willing to buy and pay cash for. We've integrated with them, so whenever you scan a book, if they have that book on their list and they're willing to buy it, it'll let you know how much they're willing to pay in cash for that book. So certain books that wouldn't have been worth it to sell on Amazon, you can sell to them instead and monetize those books. And this is especially useful for those of you that are maybe buying your books all up front in bulk, doing some type of modified bulk arrangement where you're paying for all your books up front. The books that you would have normally not been able to send to Amazon, you'd have to donate or find something else to do, your duds we call them. A lot of those can now be sent to Sell Back Your Book, and instead of making nothing, you can make 10, 20 cents, $2, $3, $4, $5 on up by sending them to Sell Back Your Book. So the way it works is that if you scan something like this example on the screen, if we sold this on Amazon, this particular example, estimated profit would be $3.16. Or we have the option to sell it to sell back your book for $1.03. Now in this case, if you're an Amazon seller, you're already sending books in, this one would probably make more sense to send to Amazon. There are other examples. I should have had another example on here where there's certain ones where it'll say if you sell this on Amazon, you'll lose 12 cents. But for some reason, Sell Back Your Book has a market for that because they sell on other platforms and in different ways. They might pay $2 or $3 for the same book you would have lost money on Amazon. So if you have some of these books you want to send to Sell Back Your Book, if you find one, all you do is tap that green little box in the center of your screen. It'll automatically add it to cart on sellbackyourbook.com. You can add as many as you want to the cart there. Their minimum, I believe, is $7. You have to have at least $7 worth to send it into them, but they'll pay for shipping. You can print off a label on their website and you can send off that box to them, and then once they receive that box and check it in, you'll receive payment for those books. And the prices you see on the screen are locked in after you submit that shipment. So even if their price drops in the future, you'll get what you lock it in on when you send that shipment in. So it's a really, really cool way for you to either sell books right away and get guaranteed cash if you don't want to sell them on Amazon. If you just are scouting, you find extra books that are worth more to do Sell Back Your Book than Amazon. It's another great way of using it. Or like I said, those of you that do bulk and have these books already, you've already purchased, might as well make some money off them and send them to Sell Back Your Book rather than figuring out other methods to send off or recycle or whatever else you do with the duds that you have. So that's a really, really cool integration. We're happy we've now have integrated into ScoutIQ. And also another thing on Sell Back Your Book here. If Sell Back Your Book is offering value for a book, oftentimes you can see that in Book Scouter there'll be other companies offering buyback prices as well. So if you're wanting to sell it to maybe another buyback company or see other buyback companies, down in the bottom of the Scout screen there, you'll see the 5 different buttons. You have the custom link icon, the camel icon, the live button, and then the Book Scouter button there next to Amazon. If you click that, it'll open up another page and you can see all the different people willing to buy that book and how much they're willing to buy it for. So that's another option you guys have if you're wanting to sell your books other than Amazon and get guaranteed cash for those books. But let me jump in here to the comments now and see who else has joined us. We've got Daniel from North Carolina, new to Amazon FBA, welcome. We've got Craig, selling since July. Jeremy from California, new to selling on Amazon, building inventory, researching and tinkering, awesome. Since Sell Back Your Book accepts CDs, DVDs, can you add the feature to those? So that will be on a version coming up very soon of ScoutIQ where you can add the CDs and DVDs and send those to Sell Back Your Book, because you're right, they do accept those as well. So don't think that's been pushed yet, but that will be a feature coming very soon where you can actually send those in as well, because Sell Back Your Book does accept CDs and DVDs. And also another way you can use Sell Back Your Book is if you are possibly restricted in a title that they have an offer for, you can just send it straight to them instead of sitting on the book or throwing it away or whatever else you would have done since you're restricted and couldn't sell that book on Amazon. So feel free to throw questions in the comments there. I'll go through a couple more notes here for you guys. Let me pull up a screen here for you. So hopefully you already are all on our our Facebook group, but if you are not, you can go to the link you see on the screen right here. So bit.ly/BF for Book Flipper, BF group, all lowercase, will take you to our Facebook group. If you're not already on that Facebook group, it's a great place to go. We have over 11,000 members on there. It's an extremely active group. So as you begin using ScoutIQ and building your Amazon business, you're going to have a lot of questions. You're probably going to get stuck in a few areas. And chances are the same questions you have already been asked in that group and answered. So you can use that group as kind of almost a search engine to search for questions you have and get answers very quickly. Or if your question has not been asked yet, you can always ask it in that group and you'll normally get a response or quite a few responses within 10-15 minutes. So it's a great resource to have if you have not already. Make sure to join that Facebook group. Another option that you should check out if you have not already and you're new to using ScoutIQ or new to selling on Amazon is the 100 book challenge. The 100 book challenge is a 12-week, 90-day challenge where you set a certain goal you're trying to list every single week. So I did it for 12 weeks and I set a goal of 100 books a week, and I documented the journey. Your goal does not have to be 100 books a week. It could be 20 books a week. It could be 200 books a week. You have to figure out what fits for you. But I think setting a goal is a huge part of being successful right off the bat, because if you have that goal, you're more likely to reach it. And then selling consistently or listing consistently for 12 weeks, you'll really start to see the rewards of doing that. If you list 100 books a week and only do it for 3 weeks, it takes a little while for those books to show up on Amazon, for them to start selling, and for your inventory to keep growing. If you do it for 3 weeks and then stop, you're not going to see the same results if you'd stuck to it and were consistent for 90 days. And so this challenge, if you go to the 100bookchallenge.com, you'll be able to see my 12-week journey with it and another guy named John Troutman. He did a kind of bulk version of it. I did a cherry picking model for this 100 book challenge, or 100 or 90-day challenge, the 100 book challenge. And you can see the numbers. You can kind of see what I did every single week, how many scans it took, how many locations I went to, things of that nature. So you can follow along there and start building your Amazon business. But even more importantly, if you go to the website, throw in your email there, hit next, you're going to get an option to download a spreadsheet. It's a weekly tracker for the 100 book challenge. And what's really cool about this spreadsheet is I go there while I'm talking right now, actually download that spreadsheet, open it up, and you're going to be able to put in your own metrics and see what weekly goals you'd have to hit to be where you want to be financially. So you could say, what happens if I list 50 books a week? And you can see an estimation of how long it's going to take you to start selling those books, what the estimated profit will be week 1 through up to 2 years. You can see when those books will sell, what your biggest payout will be, etc. So you can say, what happens if I do 20 books a week? Well, what happens if I do 250 books a week? You can type that in there, whatever your goal might be, tailor it to you, and see how long it would take for those books to sell, how much money you would possibly make with those books. And you can go through the instructions on the page to see that. But it's a really, really cool forecasting tool. If you're brand new to this, you want to know what's possible, and you want to figure out a good goal for you to set for yourself, I highly recommend going there and trying out that spreadsheet. Even if you don't follow through on the 100 book challenge, check out that spreadsheet. It'll really help you there. And then I'll go to the other item I have in just a moment. First, let me go back here to the comments and see what's going on here. So there's 17 of you. The ones of you guys that have not let me know your names, how long you've been selling Amazon and stuff, make sure to throw that in the comments so I can kind of see who's on here. And again, any questions you can put in there as well. If you guys are using the app, you're brand new to ScoutIQ, you scan something and you get a no results found error, what happens is your Amazon account is not connected to ScoutIQ. That's one of the biggest things people struggle with at the very beginning, is they don't realize you have to connect your ScoutIQ to Amazon to get live results. If you download the database and do it in database only mode, you'll be able to see results for anything that's in our database. But if you want to look up results live on Amazon, that's the current prices on Amazon for that exact item you scan, you have to connect your Amazon account. To do that, let me walk you through this real fast. It's a very simple process. What you're going to want to do is go on to app.scoutiq.co, and you're going to see this screen right here. You're going to want to scroll down to where it says step 1, step 2, and step 3. It's a simple 3-step process. It'll take you 3 minutes at max. You're going to click step 1. There's a little link right there. Click that link. It's going to open up this next page here. Once you get to this next page, the developer name and the developer account number are going to be pre-filled for you. All you have to do is click next. After you click next there, you're going to have a checkbox. You're going to want to check that box and hit next one more time. It's agreeing to Amazon's terms for this. After you click next, you're going to be brought to this page right here. This is the important page that you want. You're going to want to copy your seller ID, and then you're going to want to copy your MWS auth token. It's the one that starts with AMZN. You're going to want to copy that entire thing. So starting with AMZN all the way to the end. There's a lot of characters in there. It's blurred out on this one, but you can kind of see how long that is. Same with the seller ID. You're going to want to copy that. That's different than what you use to log into Amazon, so don't use that. You're going to want to use this seller ID on this page, and then you're going to paste it back in the very first page right here. Click Save Information. It'll tell you if it's working or not. If it turns up red, you copy and pasted something wrong. If it turns up green, you know your account is connected. You can verify it's connected by going to your app, click live only mode in settings, scan something, and if you get results, you know your account is connected properly. So if you are getting no results found, make sure your Amazon account's connected, go onto the portal and ensure that's all set up there. The next thing I wanted to show you guys that we often get questions about, let me move my screens around here, is ScoutIQ triggers and what you should do with triggers, what triggers even are in the first place, and what you need to know about them. So if you see the screen all the way to the right, you'll see this is the screen that'll pull up if you click the triggers icon on the home page of ScoutIQ. By default, you're only going to see that first option there. It's going to say ScoutIQ default triggers. It'll be selected. If you click it, nothing will happen because that'll probably be the only one showing up unless you've made your own trigger sets. We'll go into that in a second. But that will most likely be the only icon showing for you there. What that is telling you is that the triggers saying whether you should buy a book or not buy a book are the ScoutIQ default triggers. These are triggers made by us that we think are the ideal triggers for people starting out on Amazon or even that have been selling on Amazon for a long time. They're the triggers we use, and they're the ones we recommend you start using, especially if you're unfamiliar with selling on Amazon. Once you kind of know what you like, what's working for your business, what's not, you can kind of adjust these triggers to fit your exact business model. But like I said, if you're brand new, I highly recommend sticking with the ScoutIQ default triggers. With that being said, if you do want to edit these or you want to add a trigger set of your own, you can click on, I think my face is on it right now. There's going to be a button, it doesn't show up right here, but there'll be a button that says edit triggers. It'll take you online. You'll be able to edit your triggers there. We actually have Caleb Roth coming in the room right now.
Hey, exciting news.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is going to be doing the concert at the Final Four this year in Atlanta. That's
you can go out there and see that? You can buy tickets for it?
You know, probably not. Probably not. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here. Matthew's taking good care of you. And I just want to leave, I'll help answer some questions. But the hardest part is getting started. So if you've already gotten started, kudos to you. Keep getting out there, keep scanning more books, figure out how to list them. There is a learning curve, but once you have it figured out, you're going to be in good shape. So don't quit. It is a little bit hard early on, but the hardest part is getting started.
Yep. So get started, set a goal like we talked about, and try and stick with it for at least 90 days. 90 days is a good trial period to stick with it, to figure out if it's something you want to do or move forward with and actually start seeing those results.
Oh, most businesses fail within 2 years. Most businesses take like 18 to 24 months to be profitable. You can be profitable in this business in 3 to 6 months. Yeah. So you'll see, or earlier, depending on your model.
I think it was the 5.5 week mark doing the 12-week challenge. I was cash flow positive in the Amazon business.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So don't give up. You'll have to get creative finding books depending on where you live, but learn the skill set. We joke, and it's true, books are the gateway drug. Get started with books. Once you have that figured out, you can decide to scale up, build a team, do bulk, or get out of books and you take those skills that you've learned, they're transferable. You can do private label, wholesale, online arbitrage, sell in different marketplaces. But all of us are glorified middlemen and middlewomen. We're literally finding products somewhere and trying to flip it and earn a profit. We're not creating the product. We're not finding the customers. We're literally finding it in a store, selling it on Amazon. Take those same skills, you can then buy on eBay, sell on Amazon. Buy on Amazon, sell on eBay. Buy on Craigslist, sell, whatever. Literally just figure out where you can move product around and the skill sets you learn, how to run a business, how to know your numbers, how to find the customer. Those are the skill sets that carry over. So
definitely.
Pretty cool business that we get to play in.
Yeah. Yeah, let's jump into some of these questions. So Silver Bullet says, how many books are in your database?
All of them.
All of them.
Like much. Literally.
Pretty much, all of them.
I think we have over 99% of all books on Amazon in our database now. Yeah. So it's...
The database is very complete. When you scan something with it, you'll almost always get results with that. It's always good, though. I recommend if you do have a database plus live plan, always click the database plus live option. So if it's not in our database, you'll still get results for that, and it'll bring up the results live on Amazon for you if it happens to not be in our database.
Yep, live is always really good from that perspective. Brian says took his 12-year-old daughter to see Taylor Swift. Actually, a pretty good show. No shame. I've not seen her, but I would. What else we got?
Kim in Maryland, I'm brand new. Just went through my first sale last weekend. That's awesome. Finished packing my first box last night. That's really exciting. Cool. So You'll get that box shipped off, then within like a week or two, you should probably see that first sale rolling through, and that's when you'll be hooked. You'll be ready to keep going after that.
Yeah.
How can I see what the default triggers are? I can see the option, but not the details, if that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, so scroll to the bottom of your triggers, and it'll have an option that's view on the web portal or view online. Click on that. You can see it on mobile. We'd recommend doing it on a computer. There's a lot more real estate. It's easier to see it. Go to app.scoutiq.co. I think Matthew's going to bring it up here.
Yeah, so when you click on that, open up your app, click on triggers, click on edit triggers there, it'll open up your web portal. Like Caleb just said, it's best to do on your desktop, but you'll see this page right here. And if you haven't edited your triggers before, all you'll see is this one option that says ScoutIQ default triggers. If you want to just see what the defaults are, you can click that. It'll open it up and you can see those triggers there. If you try and edit them though, you won't be able to edit them. So if you have, like, let's say you like the default triggers, maybe you want to change some of the profits or something like that, come back out to the screen you're looking at right here, click that new trigger set button. At the very bottom, you're going to scroll down and click restore to default. It's going to pre-populate that new trigger set with all the default values, and you'll have free range to edit anything you want to on there, and then you can save that with the new name. If you like the defaults but want to change a few things, that's the best way to do it instead of trying to copy and paste everything over to a new trigger set. What's the reason we won't let them edit the default triggers?
We had too much confusion. People would change the defaults and then say, hey, Tim's default triggers are different than Mary's, and his says accept, mine says reject. What's going on? Same book, live lookups, everything's the same, and someone had changed the triggers. So we leave the defaults alone. They're non-editable. Like Matthew said, if you want a new set, create a new one, click restore to defaults. It'll fill it in about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and it makes it really easy. There is a ton of math, logic, experience, science, whatever terms you want to use that go into the triggers. So leave them alone. The only thing I'd recommend changing if you're just out of the gate is your target profit. I think our minimum profit is what?
I think it's $2.
I think it's $2, $1.50.
$2.50.
So our floor profit is $2, and a lot of you go, hey, I'm happy making $1.50 or $1.25. If that's the case, hydrate the triggers, create a new set, restore to defaults, leave everything else alone. Don't mess with the e-score ranges, don't mess with the rank ranges. Literally just change the profit amounts. And if you do that, I think you're going to be set up for success. Again, that's the benefit. Like, we are booksellers. We understand the market. We sell a lot of books this year, last year, the last 5-6 years. We've been doing this for a while, and we take that experience and put it into our app. We listen to you. We understand what's out there. We know how to factor in fees and items that don't sell, everything else. So if all of that's overwhelming, we have so many people that start out and say, I just trust the app and I'm making money, and that's why we built it. That's why we try and make it easy. And then as you get a little more experience, you can kind of fine tune from there.
Yeah. So for someone that's brand new looking at these triggers, what exactly are they looking at? Why are e-scores certain ways and rank certain ways? Does it hit number one first? How do they edit these if they want to edit those? Like, why?
Yeah, you can just Google ScoutIQ triggers. There's some YouTube videos. There's some Zendesk articles. That's probably your best bet. I don't want to get into a huge discussion, but just 30,000 foot view right now. In general, rank is how long ago it last sold. E-score is how many days has it sold in the last 6 months. So e-score is a really good indicator of historical demands. If a book is selling all the time, so if a book sells every single day, we can accept very small profit margins. You can go down to $1.50, $2, because it's almost guaranteed to sell again tomorrow, and whatever price it's at now, it's not likely to move a whole lot. If you can make $2 today and send it in, you're very likely to sell it and make your $2. So the more it sells, the smaller our margins. The less it sells, so if a book only sells once a month, we need to have higher margins because not all your books will sell. There's a chance the price drops in the next month before it sells again. There's a chance that it won't sell again, and so we factor all that in. So books that sell a lot, we probably assume 95% of them will sell quickly, make our money, we can have small margins. Books that don't sell very often, so rank is higher, e-score is lower, e-score might be 4, 5, 6. We need to have higher margins because we're not going to sell as many and we're trying to control for our risk. So that's in a nutshell what we're doing. So trigger 1 looks at e-score of 151 or higher, right? And so if the e-score is like 160, it'll select trigger 1. We only pick one trigger, so we work our way down. As soon as we find something that hits that first trigger, we fire on that. So if e-score is 160, we're going to use trigger slot 1. We ignore rank if we have e-score because rank is misleading. And then what we're doing is we're looking at the FBA slot. We want to be the 4th FBA offer. If we don't have that, we pick the highest merchant fulfilled offer. And again, there's lots of science and explanation if you Google ScoutIQ triggers explains. We look at the buy box because that's what BB stands for. That's what we care about. We take a certain percent off Amazon. We don't want to price too close to them, and then we need to have a minimum profit, in this case of $2. So that's what we're looking at, etc. But yeah, lots of videos, lots of good explanation. We could spend an hour just talking about triggers, but trust us. We've sent people. No, we've been to the doc. No, we are the doctor. I'm messing. But trust us. There's a lot of science that went into those triggers, and you can just start with that right out of the gate.
So Mike in Arizona has a question right there.
Just starting out, I've sourced a decent amount of books but haven't sent them in. Using the seller app to make a listing and ship them is really discouraging. How is it discouraging? Is it slow? Are you finding you're restricted? Are the profits not lining up? Help us understand that part, Mike. I'm a big fan, actually. Like, we sell software. Start with the seller app to scan books. Start with Amazon Seller Central to list them. Understand the process. Because then, one, you'll understand like how rudimentary it is. Two, you'll be willing to pay to speed things up, right? Or if you're really on a budget and you can't afford it, use the free tools. Like, there's some, like, you can get the job done. Yep. Software will speed you up, make you more efficient, and you get a really good return on your time and your investment from that standpoint. So, learn how to do it the regular way, and then you'll really appreciate software.
Another option, if you want something maybe a little easier than just using the seller app, is if you go to type in the book flipper on YouTube, it'll pull up Caleb's channel. We recently did a video on something called buy list you can make with ScoutIQ, and we walk you through how to list books using ScoutIQ and a free listing spreadsheet, and we walk you through from start to finish how to do that process. So if you want to see that and maybe do it a little bit faster than just using the seller app to list, you can go there, check out that video. I think we called it buy list.
I think it's ScoutIQ buy list.
ScoutIQ buy list. It's one of the last 3 videos, I think 4 videos or so made. So check that out, and that'll help you too. And there's some links there for spreadsheets and stuff. When are we going to come to Canada?
Physically, you want us to fly up to Canada? We're going to be launching in the UK and Canada by the end of the year is what we're targeting. UK will be first. We are very close there. We'll be beta testing this month. Canada, probably beta testing next month, depending on if we run into too many snags in the UK. I
bought your spreadsheet. I'm new. How do you print the stickers that go on the books off the spreadsheet? I have a bunch of books, but don't know how.
Yeah, so good question. You can upload the spreadsheet to Amazon. If you want to see how it all works, go to thebookflipper.com/track, TRACK. There's also a series of videos at thebookflipper.com/videos. You can see how to use it. You're not able to use like a Dymo printer like you're used to. If you do have like a listing software like Accelerlist or Inventory Lab, so you're gonna have to print what's called address labels or 30 up labels, and then print those out, stick them on the books. It's kind of a process, but we did it that way for years before there was better software out there.
Yeah.
So you can do it. Check out the videos again, thebookflipper.com/track, and you can get a feel of how to use the listing spreadsheet that way. Software will make things a lot better, but a spreadsheet is slight. So basically, if you don't have any money and you just need to figure it out, use Seller Central. That's okay. The next level up is the spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet. It's not glamorous, but it gets the job done. You can print labels through Seller Central. If you can't afford it, upgrade again, get some software. And again, no shame, no judgment. Spend the money where you can. Most of you, it's probably best to spend it on more inventory, but understanding that software can and will help you as you try and scale up.
So Craig says 3 months in, can confirm ScoutIQ is crucial for success. Just take 10K in sales with no experience.
Heck,
that's awesome. Nice work. 3 months in, that's really, really good.
Dude, that's great. Christina says, way to go, Craig. We would echo that. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Again, the model that we follow in any of our businesses, we did it with books, we do it with software, is just get started. Start up, scale up, step back. So just get started. That's the hardest part. Learn the ropes. We kind of 80-20 our way to success. We're not trying to fine tune everything. We're just trying to get started and make sure it works. So that's startup. Scale up exactly like what you're doing. 10 grand in 3 months is awesome. That's a run rate of 40 to 50 grand a year. Keep scaling, figure that out, and then find a way to step back, get more efficient, go that last 20% of the way in a lot of ways, maybe find a way to hire somebody. But starting is the hardest part. If you can't scale, there's no point in trying to optimize. So you're right on the right path, Craig. And anybody else that's following, it's doable. And we hear a lot of stories like this. We got 2 or 3 great testimonials last night, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah,
we love hearing from y'all. Let us know your stories.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go back. I've got some spreadsheets to
Alrighty.
crank myself, but I wanted to say, hey, sorry to interrupt. And
Thanks for joining us.
thanks for signing up for the trial. If we can make your life better, reach out, let us know. You can find us at the Book Flipper Facebook group. You can reach us, me directly, Caleb at thebookflipper.com. I reply to every email. Sometimes it takes a couple days, but I reply. And let us know what questions you have if you're having success. We love hearing from you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Caleb. So I'm free to stay on a couple more minutes if you guys have more questions. If not, we can call that a wrap. This video will be up for you to watch a replay of if you missed something at the beginning or want to see something over again. Another good resource for you guys if you're just figuring this out is to go to, like I said, the Book Flipper channel. That's Caleb's YouTube channel. There's a ton of videos on there going over everything from, like you said, triggers to pricing books, listing books, all of the above. I also have my YouTube channel here. You can just click on my name down below this video. That'll bring up my YouTube channel. That's where I show the 100 book challenge on there. I've got a video update for each of those weeks. Recently I did online arbitrage for 14 days. Every single day I showed you how to do online arbitrage. If you're just starting out, I recommend sticking to ScoutIQ and the 100 book challenge. But if you've been doing this for a while, you have some capital and you kind of know the game of selling on Amazon, you can check out the other software, eFlip, that we have, and that eFlip 14-day challenge if you want to get started with online arbitrage. Kraken spreadsheets, is that what you call it now? I don't know, I guess that is what he calls it now. I think that is what he said. Let's see. Thank you guys for creating such an amazing app to help people have more financial freedom. Grateful for you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're happy that the app can help you guys do that. That's our goal. Like we always say, we don't want to be taking your money unless we're helping you make more money than that. So we want you to be successful with ScoutIQ. That's one of the reasons we're trying to do these webinars each week, to help you guys figure it out and answer the questions you have. Because if you're successful, we're successful, and we want you guys to build a thriving business. And it's awesome to be able to see, like Caleb said, the testimonials that come in of people that stuck with it. They were consistent. They figured out ways to scale. They figured out different methods of finding more inventory, finding more books in places other people weren't looking, and they're able to scale their business very quickly, or even just in the first year or two, they're able to scale their business up using ScoutIQ and Accelerlist and other tools like that. It's great to be able to see those stories come through. Mike says, I'm using Reseller Dad to send out books for me. That's awesome. Yeah, their new service, they just launched not too long ago. Let me know how it goes for that prep service and how long it takes and stuff like that. I know a lot of people have started using them. I'm curious what people's experience have been so far. And I'm sure as they're getting started, they'll figure things out a little more and stuff like that. So even if there are little hiccups and bugs right now, I'm sure those things will be worked out too. But I'm curious to know what your experience has been with that. Terry says, ScoutIQ is working for me in the 2 or 3 days I've used it. Is there a way to set the cost at a default other than 0? Yeah, so there's 2 ways you can actually do that. So if you, well, while I'm talking to you, let me double check this is still true. So the easiest way to do that is if you go in, we talked about triggers. Let me pull up the page for you real fast. This is actually a pretty easy way to do this. So if you see the page pulled up right here, you can go in, like I said, click the new trigger, scroll down, click restore to defaults. Everything will be the exact same as the defaults. If you want to default the buy cost always to something consistent, you can throw in the buy cost up here at the top. If you see at the very top, it says description. That's where you set the name for your trigger sets. Then there's 3 options: your fulfillment method, buy cost, and cost per pound. If you change the buy cost there, save that trigger set, go into ScoutIQ, make sure you have that trigger set selected within the app. It'll default that buy cost to what you set there. You can still change it on a per book basis. So if you want to go and you set it at default of $2, and maybe you're scanning a book that's a buy cost of $1, you can change that in there to get updated results in the app. So that's an easy way to set the default buy cost in the app. Another thing I recommend is, a lot of people like to put the buy cost in there, and I understand that if you always have the same exact buy cost, let's say you're going to a store, it's always 50 cents. That's a great thing to do, is put in that buy cost. I personally always keep my buy cost set at 0, and I just do the quick math in my head. I'm going through a lot of the stores around us. If I'm cherry picking and going to these thrift stores, the prices are kind of all over the place. They do small paperbacks like $1, sometimes bigger hardback books are $2.50, sometimes they're $3.75. So they're all over the place. So if I pull a book and it says $2 and I see the profit is $3 estimated on ScoutIQ, I know the profit's gonna be $1. So I take that buy cost away in my head. I can see, all right, it says $3, the book costs $2, I'll make $1 off of it, then I go on to the next book if it says accept or not. But if it's all the same, you can't put it in there. If you're changing each time, it'll probably take you more time than it's worth to switch out the buy cost for every book you scan. So I'd recommend just kind of doing that quick math in your head there so you can go through the books a lot quicker. One of the things that we always talk about that's important to know starting out to set expectations is how many books you'll be able to take away and how that affects the way you should scan books. So let's say you scan 100 books, you're going to a library, one of their ongoing sales they have, maybe a library sale, a thrift store, anything like that. The average kind of accept rate for cherry picking will be anywhere from like 2.5% to 5%, just going out cherry picking. So let's take 5% as the number. That means if you scan 100 books, on average, you're going to take 5 of those books back home with you that are profitable to sell on Amazon. So your goal is not just to find those good books, is to get through the bad books as quickly as possible. And the way you do that is by scanning through them quicker. So one of the best ways you can scan through books quicker, getting started. Now again, this is if you have a little money to invest in this. You don't have to do this right away. ScoutIQ, you can always click the scan button. It'll bring up your camera. You can scan the book with your phone and see the results. The problem with that is that it takes a lot longer than using an external scanner. I'll show you those in a second. So if you're just scanning through on your phone, clicking the camera button each time, pulling out a book, scanning it, you can do that. Let's say you scan 100 books in an hour doing it that method, you'll take 5 books home. Another option you have is to use what's called an external Bluetooth scanner, and they look a little something like this. I've got a few of the popular ones pulled up here. You should see them on the screen here. They look like this. They can be held in your hand. I've actually got one right here. They're very small. They look like this. It's probably not clear for you guys right here, but you can see my hand. They're very small. And it's just a little barcode. It shows up there. And it's a lot quicker to scan books. It's pretty much as fast as you're able to pull out the books. It'll scan the barcodes, throw it in the ScoutIQ, and you can see that accept or reject signal. So whereas if you're using your app to do it and just using your camera on your phone, let's say you scan 100 books an hour. If you're using this, you can scan maybe, let's say, 500 books in an hour. And instead of taking 5 books home, you'll take 25 books home for the same amount of time spent. So the best thing you can do is try to get through those books as quickly and efficiently as possible. And these Bluetooth barcode scanners are a great way to do that. There's a few options I have up here on the screen. The first one is the OPN 2002. That's the little one you see in my hand right here. This is just a white version of it. These scanners are a little bit more pricey. You can get them used on eBay sometimes for anywhere from like $80 to $120. If you look for them on Amazon, they do sell them on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure they're priced like $199 on Amazon. KDC, I'm not sure. I think KDC is in the 120 range as well. Those are both more of your higher end scanners. The good thing about these scanners is they're extremely durable. They last a long time. They're reliable. They're just great from that standpoint, and they're small. They're easy to carry around and stuff like that. One of my favorite things about these scanners, though, especially for people just starting out, is that they maintain their value super well. So if you buy one of these on eBay for $100, use it for 3 months, see if Amazon's for you, find out it's not, maybe you're just not doing it enough, you can almost certainly sell this scanner for almost exactly what you purchased it for, so you're not losing that money that you're spending. The cheapest option, if you're just wanting to find the cheapest thing possible, is to go with the iYoYo. That's the option all the way to the right on the screen right there. You can buy this from Amazon, I believe, for $45, shipped prime, brand new. It's going to be a little bigger than this. It kind of looks a little more like a garage door opener, but people like them. There's a lot of people that use them. They're a little bit cheaper quality, but they work and they get the job done. So if you're on a budget, but you want a Bluetooth scanner to be able to scan faster, that is a great option for you to use as well. We do have one somewhere here in the office, I think. But Caleb and I both use these OPN 2002 ones as a scanner. So getting through books, like I said, is one of the best things you can do, doing it faster. You'll take more books home, you'll sell more books, you'll be happier about the process. So that's a really good thing. A next upgrade once you have the money is to get one of those external Bluetooth scanners. Let me catch up on these comments here. Do you need beta testers for Canada? Yeah, so if you are interested in being a beta tester for Canada, or if you're in the UK or anything like that, what you can do is go to scoutiq.co/countries. That'll bring up a page where you can fill out and be on the wait list for when we release in Canada and UK. And if we do need beta testers, we'll be able to pull from those lists. So if you are interested in that, I can't guarantee we'll be able to get you in a beta really soon, but you can do it there if you want that opportunity. And then at least we'll let you know as soon as we launch, and if we do need beta testers, we'll go to that list first. So make sure to go to scoutiq.co/countries, fill out that form right there if you are interested in being a part of it when we launch in Canada. Great question. Brian says 2 days in and the sellback your book feature has already clearly made my previous software provider obsolete. Thanks for that awesome feature. That's great. Yeah, a lot of people have been taking advantage of this the past few days. We've been really surprised at how many people have really jumped on board with the Sell Back Your Book. Reezy Resells, if you guys know him, he has a channel on YouTube. He posts a lot of videos. Oops, my battery in my computer is running low, so we're going to wrap this up soon. I've been talking a lot. But he has, if you go to Reezy Resells on YouTube, he has a YouTube channel and stuff like that. He just started a bulk operation. He got something like 44 Gaylords of book. A Gaylord, if you're not familiar with the term, is basically a pallet of books. They come on a pallet. They're called a Gaylord. It's just the style of box. Anyways, he had 44 of those. He went through those. After taking out all the books for Amazon, he was using Sell Back Your Book with ScoutIQ. He filled up 2 Gaylords worth of books to send to Sell Back Your Book. Those books, those boxes, or all the books there would have previously been ones he would have had to donate or find something else to do. But now he can use them and send them to Sell Back Your Book, and he can do it scanning once with ScoutIQ. So, like I said, for people that are doing bulk and already own the books, it's huge. And even if you're just going out and cherry picking, you can see a lot of times it might be worth it to send it to them instead of waiting for it to sell on Amazon. So definitely turn that on your phone. It shouldn't slow down the app at all. It comes up maybe a millisecond or two after the ScoutIQ data does. So you'll be able to see that when you're out scanning, and it's a really cool feature in there to turn on and just see what the value is for Sell Back Your Book. You might be surprised sometimes at what they're willing to offer. I change the buy cost every place I go. Yeah, like I said, if they're consistent cost where you go, definitely change the buy cost, and it'll stay there the entire time. Hey everyone, sorry about that. Let me know if you can actually hear me now. Computer died on me. I thought I had like good 20 minutes left on it. Sorry about that. Let me go back through these comments that were left here. So even if you guys have left, hopefully if you go back and watch this video, you'll be able to see these replies. So Lewis says, can you scan the ISBN with the scanner? Yeah, so the Bluetooth scanners, they connect to your phone via Bluetooth. You just turn on your Bluetooth in your phone, connect the scanners. Have a few different ways of connecting, but normally on like the OPN one, you hold down the little button, it'll turn blue, you connect the scanner, and then anything barcode you scan will autofill into ScoutIQ and automatically search for it after you scan it. If you go to app.scoutiq.co, and then you click on the support button at the very top, you'll be able to see an article there in the getting started section on how to connect a Bluetooth scanner. And we have instructions and barcodes and everything for all the major ones. So like OPN, KDC, on the different versions out there. We have sheets showing you how to connect those scanners to ScoutIQ. So check that out if you're wanting to connect your scanner. Yeah, Brian pretty much answered your question there though. Yeah, you can connect it via Bluetooth. The feed died. Yes, the feed did die. Thanks. Appreciate you guys for taking the time to help us learn. Of course, we're always happy to help. If you guys are in the ScoutIQ trial and you have maybe questions in this coming week that you didn't have today, or maybe there's something that comes up, I'll be doing another one of these next Thursday at the same time. So you'll get an email for that if you're in the ScoutIQ trial, and you'll be able to hop on there and ask those questions again next week. Craig says, no worries. Thanks for the knowledge. You're all good. Thanks. So I guess you guys can maybe hear me now. Maybe. But if not, thank you guys for being here. I've been on here 50 minutes already, so I will hop off considering the feed already died. So thank you all for being here, and feel free to send me an email. I'll throw my email actually in the comments here. If you guys have any questions, follow-up, something like that you weren't able to ask, shoot me an email at the email and throw it in the comments. And I will get back to you as soon as possible and help you out however you guys need it. So thank you guys for being on today.